Apologies.
That's okay. Okay. Hello, good evening. We are going to call this meeting of the Taos Academy Governing Council to order at 5:34 p.m. We will need a roll call.
All right, Dean?
Here.
Karen?
Here.
Laura? Sam?
Here.
Martin?
Here.
That's it.
Okay. May we all do the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just saw it as we were finishing.
It's hiding back there.
Who's hiding? What happened?
We have a little tiny flag right there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And so we need to entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda for this fine April 14th.
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All right, roll call.
Roll
Dean?
call, please.
Sorry. Martin?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
It carries.
And then we have approval of the minutes. I believe this is from the special session, correct? From March 29th?
We also have to approve the original ones from
And
the
the
last.
original minutes from our last meeting.
Find it in ink for the March minutes and special minutes, original and for special minutes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, March and special, yeah. And special.
Okay, I'll make
Any-
a motion. Amendments for both the March meeting and for the retreat.
I
Sorry.
What was that?
A roll call. Dean?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Okay, so the next item, F on the agenda, is governing council input. We do need to talk about some role changes on the board. Now that I have stepped into the chair position, we're going to need someone to consider taking over as secretary. We do have some time before we need to report that. I know that Laura's not here, so that is the person I would probably poke. But in the meantime, it's something that we do need to think about.
How we have, Sam?
Pardon?
How much time do we have?
I mean, I don't think the law says that we have to, do it by a certain date, but I do know that CSD, I think it's 30 days for notification of member changes. We don't need to submit a form for an officer position. It's more just an informal email. But because it is a statutory requirement that we have these positions, we just need to make sure that we're doing it timely.
Can I make a motion that Laura becomes the secretary?
Could we do? We can. No, because we need to at least ask her first. But
All right.
I hope so. Oh, and then I did speak, and this is something I'd maybe want to discuss with, not maybe, definitely want to discuss with all of you, in terms of, I'm going to be stepping into finance committee. And so I wondered if I could also be on the audit, or if we needed to put someone else into that position. Deanna said that she does have other boards where the chair is in both those positions. I'm happy to make our lives easier and not have to look for another person to be on the audit committee. And so I'm fine to be in both positions.
As chair of the audit committee, I'm happy to have.
Yes, Martin. Okay, perfect. I'm happy to stay on the audit committee. It'd be great. Especially because we only meet during the audit. So I think in terms of an action item for this section of the agenda, we will table any further action until Laura's here. And then we will reconvene.
Okay.
Oh, and I guess in terms of role changes, Tracy and I are going to be talking to a few potential candidates. And so that's just something to know is happening in terms
Okay.
of member changes. Mm-hmm.
You know, Sam, for the board, for this discussion of the board, you know, comments from the board, we need to decide who's going to get the pizza arranged for the exam period. That we provide pizza.
Oh, exactly.
Right?
When is that?
May 12th.
Okay. Dean, is that something you normally did?
Yeah, I don't want to do it this year though, because I'm on my way out, you know, so it'd be best if somebody else does it.
All right, I'm happy to take on the pizza. I think I can order some pizzas.
Right. What we usually do is each one of us puts in $50 to buy the pizzas.
Okay, great. And so I'm happy to take on that. Thank you. I'll make a note of it. And I will coordinate with the rest of the board. But it's May 12th?
The week of May 12th is finals.
Okay, so Tracy, is that something I can just kind of reach out to you to coordinate more formally?
Yes.
Great. I will be in touch. Any other input in terms of role changes? No?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, no further discussion. It looks like we are.
Hey,
Pardon?
Sam, to clarify, that we will be following our bylaws to pull a new person on. But we decided to wait till May, inviting them in May, right, Sam?
Yes.
So we'll still follow the same process. We actually have two.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know.
2 candidates. Yes, we
Yeah.
just didn't want it to be super last minute, like asking them with it, you know. So we're gonna ask them to join our meeting in May.
Where did that?
Any other comments on this before we move on? Oh, Kelly, yes.
Sam, I just want to clarify, when are you going to seat these new board members?
When will we seat them? Well,
Yeah,
Dean's
would
not,
they go
Dean-
into effect July 1st?
yes. And
Okay.
it's not members, it's member. We have 2 potential candidates.
Oh, I see.
Dean is up as of June 30th, and so we will make that transition accordingly.
Okay. And then just so they don't have to take the new board training up to the last minute there, they have
No.
to finish by June 30th. So
No. Lucky for us, Dean is not leaving us. We're not allowing him to leave us until June
Okay.
30th.
I just wanted to make
And
sure so somebody didn't get caught shorthanded.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, thank you for that. Any other questions for this one? Okay, it looks like we are on to item G, public input. We are gleaning input for our 25-26 school year budget. Is there anyone here who wishes to make a comment from the public? I don't see any public. Is there anyone there in person?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Seeing no comments, we will move on to item H. Executive session pursuant to section 10-15-1, limited personnel matters and legal matters. Can we entertain a motion to enter into executive session?
I'll motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
Roll call. Dean,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Yes, please.
closed session as of 5:44.
And this is where we would invite in, hi Sue, and we would invite Sue to this meeting, please. and Tracy.
I move we come out of executive session.
Second,
Dean and Martin. Dean,
Yes.
Martin,
yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
motion carries.
And then do we need to do our statement of closure? Just what was discussed in the executive session was pursuant to the matters identified in the agenda pursuant to statute. Okay. And I don't think we need to take any action. So we're going to move on.
Any action we took was at the retreat, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so the next is the financial reports.
Yeah, I sent you all financials and bank statements on Friday. We're currently preparing quarterly reports and working on the budget for fiscal year 26. Budget conference was last week, and our budget is due to PED on May 29th. The board has to approve the budget no later than June 20th and sign off on the budget. So we have a little while. JC and I are still working on many things.
Deanna, what was the date that the council has to approve?
No later than June 20th. That's in statute. But you do not have to approve it prior to me submitting it to PED.
We do or we do not?
You do not.
No bars. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Karen, do you want to do the financial committee since I was late?
Oh, I have 2 bars for tonight too.
Oh,
Are you ready for me to do those?
Yes.
Okay, I have bar 20 is an increase bar. Actually, it's an initial bar for Fund 26107, which is an REC amount. This is for a PEC award of $10,000. It's for special projects and performance framework supports. It's one way to use that 2%. They are allowing us to have a portion of it. And then bar 21 is an increase bar for Fund 11,000 in the amount of $27,200.02. And this adjustment reflects our final unit value and then how many students we had on the 40th day reporting period. And those are the bars.
Make a motion to approve the bars as presented.
I'll second.
All right, Dean,
Yes.
Martin,
Yeah.
Sam,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
motion carries.
So
Okay, it looks like, oh, sorry, Finance Audit Committee update.
we met as a finance committee and Sam had her first time there at the finance committee. We talked about the fund balances and the budgeted amounts with the OMBS. Is that what we talked about?
OBMS.
OBMS.
Yeah.
And we had good answers to our questions. And so I will make a motion to approve the financials as presented.
Second,
What letter are we under?
it was IC, financial reports, IC, Finance Audit Committee update.
Where?
Deanna's, are you the purple?
I think so. Okay.
And no, that's Tracy.
Where? Hold on, wait a minute. Under J?
Mm-mm.
No.
We're under I still. in C, there, it's not in here where it should be for us to approve.
But yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, this, I don't know what happened there. My action got taken off. Sorry, guys. Okay, who was the motion?
Karen did.
Is it,
Sorry, Sam.
Yes.
Just that it's not marked as an action item, but it says it at the top. So I'm guessing it's okay to go ahead and approve it.
Approves the bars?
Yeah, well,
Well, we
the
approved the
finance
bars.
audit report is a separate item, but you have on the main report. So I think it's fine. I just want to
I
make
think
sure
it's
that
fine.
you guys are okay with that.
I think
I'm
it's
o-
okay.
Yeah, it's our normal way we do it.
Okay,
So
I
I'm not
just,
sure why it wasn't on there this time like it usually is, but I think it'd be fine with, because it says discussion and action.
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, Deanna. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were on the same page.
so we can leave it as is?
Yeah.
Wait, did we have a motion?
I
Karen,
I
motioned
thought
it
we did.
and
I thought-
Martin seconded it.
I think we just got a little lost in the roll call, is if I remember correctly.
Oh, so they do. Okay, is it- no. Yeah, it's like when I was there.
But then it was gone.
Okay, so now we paste this in here.
Now your pace, my pace.
I know. I'm trying to copy this, and I don't know.
Like ballet, what?
Sorry, guys. It was not on mine, and then I switched to Jamie's because my computer shut off. You know. Okay, perfect. So. So. And who was the second?
Martin was second.
Martin, okay. All right, roll call Dean.
Yeah.
Sam,
Yes.
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're moving on to item J, operations and instructional reports, discussion, possible action. Looks like item A is the foundation report.
Oh, yeah, we are having our quarterly meeting this coming Wednesday. So then we'll have our financial reports for you before the May meeting, and we'll review those at the May meeting. That's it.
Thank you. And then the director of programs report.
Okay, so upcoming stuff or things that have just recently happened. The Honor Society and the senior class had a fundraiser that took place on Friday the 11th at SIDS. They raised $1,005. That money will be used to support the senior class graduation extras and things that they want. All right. High School Student Council will host our prom on Saturday, May 3rd. That was a change from the April date because every other Taos County prom was taking place on the same day. So we moved ours. Then, of course, Parents and Community Council input has been ongoing at the TA community. The Parents and Community input has been ongoing at the Community Council meetings on March 31st, and also we will be expecting on April 30th input regarding budget and planning for school year next year, 25-26. So that's it. Those are things. Testing. We are in the middle of the state testing window. Today was our last scheduled regular day of testing. As of the end of the school day today, we were 89.32% complete with our testing. We will continue with our makeups through the remainder of the window over the next 2.5 weeks. We need to reach 95% participation overall, and then in each subgroup and by gender and ethnicities and so on. So we'll ensure that all our students that can get tested during that time that need to be tested. All right. Any questions about that? We won't have data until, just so you know, we'll update you with data from MAPS either May or June, depending on when our window closes and what time we have. All right. STEM Institute, we have some things that are upcoming. We have STEM night on May 1st. That is our final STEM night. That's a celebration of learning. Time has yet to be determined, but we do have that is a remote learning day. Throughout the day, senior capstones will be taking place, where all our seniors will present to a panel, and that's part of their graduation requirements. And then, of course, everybody will participate with their performances and stuff in the evening. That's STEM. We have, of course, the play will take place either the night before or the following week. Then we had our science club students. They took 9 students down to the state science fair, and we had 7 place or get special awards that will be announced in online and in our newsletter upcoming for May. We also had our esports student teams head down to state this week and competed in, we had some students in the playoffs that were home games, but they went down to the state competition on Thursday, and they competed in Rocket League and in League of Legends. League of Legends team took 2nd place in state, and that was single A through 4A schools. And, we're actually classified as a 2A school. And then, of course, and they took, like I said, the silver. And then the Rocket League team, which is like race cars playing soccer, how I would explain that one. They are state champions, and that is in 2A, single A to 2A. And so they took the gold, and overall with team points based on some of our other playoffs and things that happened here with other individual sport games titles, we took 3rd place overall in 2A, right behind Cuesta, who took 2nd place. So we'll have another trophy coming, and those students did, of course, receive their gold and silver medals, and awesome job for them. So wanted to mention that. That's what's going on in that area. Any questions about the fun stuff in Quinton Taos Academy out there? All right. I emailed very similar to last year's, and I gave you guys some printed copies of the Fine Arts, Fine Arts Elementary grant. Nothing really has changed other than we included our cultural and cultural studies of the Arts through Native American Studies class in there and pursuing that, and our evaluation system that we have done now for the students to get feedback, where the students are presenting their projects and their learning, and we have peer observers, parent observers, teacher observers, and community observers giving the program feedback so that we can grow and expand our program and improve the student outcomes. This is, I'm not sure, really a formality. We do have to have this assurances signed. It is now part of SEG. So even though the high-end estimate of 40 students participated, and this is for 5th and 6th grade, it will actually be based with a renewal application. So it'll be based, I believe, Deanna can answer that, the average of our 40th and 80th day enrollment rates for the 5th and 6th grade.
It's
Um,
the 120th day.
So it'll go based on that. Our award, it's actually part of the student equalization guarantee. We are asking for action to approve that. Like I said, those are the only two changes from last year into this year's to increase and improve. And then of course our goal of continuing to expand did include that we do have outside entities partnership that we did have to include this year of continuing True Kids 1 and Fit Taos. Because it asks like if we hire artists and local artists, but then if there's organizations that we partner with, which those are the two organizations that we partner with part of our STEM program. Any questions?
I have a question about the Equity Council. Did we change the name of that, did you say?
It's not called that anymore.
We did
can't
because
say that
of
anymore.
the DEI stuff. We changed it temporarily to, well, as part of our Equity Council, to at-risk council because those are the groups that it targets.
You talked about equalization just a minute ago. Is that?
Student Equalization Guarantee, the SEG,
Are we
that's
allowed
our
to say
funding.
that?
Yeah.
Equalization?
Yeah.
That's a bad words. I don't think we can even say woman anymore.
That's what our funding comes from. It's the Student Equalization Guarantee number, the SEG number for our funding. Just gotta try and not draw a red flag.
In the last meeting, it was said, Dean, nothing to see here.
So the application is only targets 5th and 6th grade. Okay. I think we get about $10,000 in that.
It's just.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Right. But I just an action on that if you guys are approving it so that I can get Dean's
You need us to
signature.
make a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question. So
Yes.
Jamie, do you have to use all of those funds in the fiscal year or can you carry over any money?
I believe we use them within the same year, correct, Deanna? It's mostly to salaries. There's some to go to training and some for materials, but
That's correct. We use them in the same year, but it's part of the funding formula. It's part of the SEG.
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Okay, so can we entertain a motion for the fine arts? Is it the fine arts education grant?
Elementary arts.
Elementary. Thank you. I'm like, what does the E stand for? Thank you.
Education Act.
I will motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, roll call. Dean,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Yes.
motion carries.
I have one little other thing beyond that. And Kelly, you can probably help me answer this. So, with the testing stuff, the Vistas, New Mexico Vistas, website and page where we have all of our data and graduation and everything, there is a new section regarding your governing councils and board, and it lists the names and the, if you've received your training and completing your training, it is now a state requirement.
It's been there for years.
Ours is not posted. Kelly, do you know who reports that?
So I'll do a report on the training. The training hours are due June 30th. So when we do our last meeting in May, then I will do the report to the CSD. And then I would imagine the CSD posts them, but I'll do the report, which I give a copy to the school as well, so that there's documentation about the training hours.
Yeah, we go through, that's part of
Yeah.
our every year evaluation, and they have to check off if we have that training or not, and it's posted in all of our data when, like in It's not dash anymore, but
Yes,
it's
it's in
It's all-
Lisa's, it comes, so ours is missing for last year. We
yeah,
just have
that's
to,
that's a PED thing.
Okay.
We don't do that. PED does that.
okay, so we were just clearing up visas. And so we'll just send the email, because Kelly was last year,
CSD.
right?
That's CSD though. That's not Kelly, that's CSD.
Yes,
CSD is the one, Kelly just reports to CSD what it is.
But did we do your training last year? Are you talking about 24, 25? So,
Yeah.
24.
yeah. So it's already been reported. So we reported everybody's, and I believe, Tracy, you have a copy of it as well.
Well, that was our recharter year.
Yeah, okay.
That's a PED thing.
But if there is anything you need for documentation, just let me know, and I've got it all.
All right. Yeah, because we're missing ours.
I don't know what that means. So you know what,
Not
you guys,
posted on the
that is not us.
website.
That's a PED thing.
Yeah,
So please, yeah, just get in touch with PED. CSD has all that information.
Okay.
If they neglected to put it in there, I don't know. But
and that's what I was. we
it's
were
in the
checking.
dash,
It's
it's in all of our documentation.
Okay. Okay. That was the last one. Just making sure our Vista's outward facing, that we can sign off that everything.
Please
is there.
contact PED and make
Contact
sure that they have what they're supposed to have first. And then if you don't, if you're still missing stuff, please see me and I'll make sure
Okay.
you have that. What's next? Okay.
Sam.
Sam, sorry.
I'm just looking at you.
Are we moving on to the, from the next report to for the principal director of teaching and learning report?
I'll be quick. So really, we're just kind of coming down to the end of, the year. So really the academic goal of progress right now is kids are 6 through 11 really working on completing their final year milestones, which is getting all their cumes done, finishing their final work, anything that they need to get done. Seniors are currently working on completing their capstone projects, their presentations, doing an audit check with the counselor, make sure they have everything they need in place to graduate. So that's pretty much where they're at. Instructional and curriculum. So right now, I'm just really finishing the formal evaluations for teachers for the NM Elevate. So collecting data, that's pretty much it on that. And just, we're just working on getting ready for next year as far as curriculum, working on the EdgeX, the Turnitin, the plagiarism, as we talked about before, and then Naviance for the next step plan, the software. Still pretty much just making sure that's all in place for next year. Staffing, we reviewed staffing in the strategic plan meeting that we had by leadership, and just making the adjustments that need to be made for any staffing needs. So
Are there gonna be
that's going
new
smoothly.
needs next year then?
There might be, everybody seems to be returning, but some might have to go like, part-time or whatever. So just making those adjustments, little adjustments where we just need that filler, moving from grade level to grade level.
Doesn't look like a whole lot of turnover.
No.
That's great.
So everything running smoothly there so far. Student updates, just pretty much the same thing as before. But I do want to give a shout out, congratulations to Amelia Martinez, who is one of our seniors, who was awarded the prestigious $20,000 gold scholarship from Lano.
She's our valedictorian, is she not?
Uh-huh. So shout out to her, and then if we come across any more, I'll put them in there, but yeah, I stand for any questions. Yeah.
Right? Hey. Nice graphics, y'all.
That's so exciting. I don't have any questions. That's just amazing. Anyone else? Thank you, May.
Of course.
Okay. It looks like executive director's report.
Alrighty, we spoke about facility, but we are moving forward with campus landscaping, and other projects for the summer are being scheduled. And we've already reviewed all of that.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Leave it there. Let's see, budget, we've completed budget conference last week and, there are increases in SEG and in the unit value. There are multipliers, there's an increase in multipliers from 6th grade, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. That is going to help this school quite a bit. I don't know how much yet, because Deanna hasn't done all the review yet of what that actually looks like.
That's that form.
That's
Go
that
through, yeah.
form. So 910B5 is where that sits, and we still have to, we just got back Friday. So, and then we did get an increase in the unit value. And I don't know exactly how much, maybe, I don't know. Deanna, do you know exactly how much in the unit value have we been able to? I don't know what the increase was.
It's like $300. I don't remember at the moment. I can look it up if you guys need to know.
Yeah, that's right. So that's that, and that's multiplied, of course, by the units. So that just depends on the 910 how it all flushes out. So we will have an increase. Where there's increase, there's also, you know, that our insurance costs will be going up. They do every year, and it sounds pretty substantial again. The liabilities insurance and staffing insurances will go up as well. Overall, there's about an 8% increase in funding for schools in general, and a 12% increase in liabilities. So that's just how it goes, right? It's always fun, the legislative session. That's always good fun. Anyway. And as far as legislation, we will be presenting to some new policies that the legislature passed. One is a
Distraction.
anti-distraction legislation, which is about cell phones, right? Cellular items, watches and such. So we're working on some new policy for that. And
Tribal regalia.
we don't need that. We don't have. Oh, you mean for policy in general?
Mm-hmm. For Senate Bill 163.
Oh, well, when we get to that, we'll get to that. Right now, all we're working on is we have a couple of other policies we'll be bringing forth to you next month. And then specifically legislation for this year wasn't a whole lot, to be honest. There, of course, the increases for staffing, 4% increase, average 4% increase.
For a little while, there was a threat that we were having more students in the Taos County, that the small schools benefit or whatever was going to drop away, but we never crossed that threshold, right?
No, and yeah, that's been very quiet lately. But we don't, because our population is dropping in Taos for school-age children. We're not in risk at this point.
It's not good for real estate.
Yes. That's all I have. Thank you.
Can I ask a question about do we know how the at-risk funding, how the family income index mechanism is going to impact the school?
Yes, we actually get an increase for at-risk. We're on the
sweet.
list. Yeah, we don't lose for that.
That's excellent.
Yeah. Just trying.
Okay. Thank you, Tracy. It looks like we're on to E, monthly GC calendar development and strategic planning, date and agenda, GC training, site visit dates, and new GC member discussion.
When is graduation?
May 16th,
Okay.
2 p.m. Please be here by 1:30.
We have the gala coming up on May 1st.
Hmm.
Yes.
What time is that at?
We don't have a set time just yet. I'll email it out. It'll probably be like 3:30 to 6:30.
I'd like to appreciate that because I took the day off so I can attend. So I really want to be able to come. Thank you. And do we need to post for a possible quorum for all these things, probably?
Do we have?
For graduation, I'm sure. I will not be able to attend the gala. I'll be in Albuquerque, unfortunately. And then, is there anything else for the calendar?
I have approved the calendar. Is that going to be ready for the next meeting? Or are we going to do that in June?
That's for the GC calendar, right?
No, this is for the school calendar.
School calendar, okay.
Remember how last year we were having so many problems fitting in the number of school days? There could be too many, there could be too little, all that kind of stuff. Is that an issue again this year?
It's not as bad because we already have we have a working calendar that we'll work. And I suppose that was the other kind of legislative thing that happened, and that is, at this point, we're back to the number of hours, days. So it's 1,140 hours we're required. And so, 180 days is what you're talking about.
Yes, there was that weird, yeah. Okay.
That is not being held this year. It's back in
Good.
court, though. It has been in court. They lost, and now they appealed. PED did. So now we're going to the last minute of the last day. Yes. But we're going with the 1,140 days. I mean
Hours.
Just remember that our teacher calendar and our student calendars are different because our
Right.
teachers work 166 days and our students do the 1,140 hours. They're a little bit different. We still have to keep two calendars, so that's part of it. Anything else left or is that it?
That's the great thing about government, it always changes.
Always changes.
We just gotta remember that these days.
Yes.
And so when do we approve that? The calendar, is that next month?
That's what I'm showing, that we approve it next month and then the budget the following month.
Usually in May it's ready. I mean, unless barring, like last year, we struggled with that. But this year we've got, the input has already happened from the staff. The community council it'll be presented at the community council in April 30th, thank you. And then barring any kind of weird thing, we should be able to approve it in May.
So do you want me to move it to June with the budget? And
No.
just do it together? No?
No. I mean, we have until June. We don't have to do it in May, but I try to push, not to have so much all at one time.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll leave it the way we have it.
And then strategic date, planning date and agenda, I think we have done that. That was back in March, right? And so we'll just keep it in our minds for the following year, when we want to do that. And then training, Kelly, how are we doing with our training?
You guys are doing awesome, and I checked in my files. Your hours were submitted last year, so everything should be good. You guys had well over the required, and so please just shoot me an email if you need something. That they have been known to lose things before, so. But I have it, and it's all good. So you're definitely on track for this year because the reduced hours. You certainly don't have anything that you need to finish and make up. You guys are already finished with that. And just a note, Tracy and I have been, as part of the training package, there is a review of the policies and there's an assessment. So I'm going to be doing that between now and the end of May, and going through the policies. What are priorities, any that are missing, any that need to be updated, going through and maybe trimming a little bit of the number of policies, because you guys have a lot of policies. And so I've been able to come up with a list of the required policies from PED and what's required statutorily and regulatory in terms of policies. And so we're going to reconcile all that. And then with that report, then I can help with Tracy moving into the next year of how she wants to update the policies. And so so I'm going to do that initial kind of baseline assessment, and then we'll have a report that she can that I'll give to her and share with you guys.
This is music to our ears. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's good. Very, very nice.
Very good.
It's part of my weird quirk. I have fun going through policies, so don't judge me. And just
happy.
I'm sorry, I have to take a phone call at 7:30, so I'm gonna have to jump off. But you guys are on target and are doing awesome. I'm holding you up as my my stellar team.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
We'll see you next month.
Thank you. And so I think the final piece of this we talked about a little bit earlier was the new GC member discussion. And so we'll invite both those potential people to the May meeting, and Tracy and I will meet with each of them separately to just make sure they're, you know, do you have time to do 10 training hours? Do you have time to be at a meeting every month that, you know, sometimes might be an hour, sometimes might be 3, depending on what's going on. You know, and things like that, just to gauge commitment. And then we look forward to meeting them in May.
Okay.
And then it looks like we are moving. Any questions about any of that before we move on? No?
Sam, we have the GC focus group coming up
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
on
When is it?
April the 24th at 1 o'clock.
Thank you. I'm gonna add that, make sure I have it on my calendar.
It's just 2 going, right?
Yes.
Yes, I have it on my calendar. Thank you. TA at 1 o'clock. It's a Teams, right?
I believe so.
I will be there with bells and whistles. Thank you for the reminder. And then I think next item is policy changes, but it looks like NA not applicable, not doing it tonight. And so moving on to item G, the 24-25 Title I and Title II grant for action.
Title I is $91,399. We use Title I for math instruction. Title II, $8,932.22. If you need me to put the numbers in there, I can.
Okay, what was, okay, so I'm going to put like, so Title I was how much?
91,399.
That's what we've already gotten and what we're gonna get.
No, it's for next year.
What if we don't get it?
We do get it. The Title I is automatic. It's federal. Yeah.
Well-
Oh,
And-
may I ask a question? Oh, I'm sorry. So it says in the agenda 24-25. Should it be 25-26?
Oh, yeah.
Oops,
Let me change it.
Yes, next year's.
Are you sure we're gonna get Title I funds next year?
If we don't get Title I funds, there's a whole lot of other things we gotta worry about than Title I. But that's what is allocated. And I got that one. Okay, and then Title II, $8,932.22.
Thank you.
And we use our Title II funds for professional development to pay someone to be our professional development in-house. So it's used for salaries. So both of those are used for salaries. Did I separate out Title IV? I did.
You
Okay.
did.
Should have put them all together, sorry.
That's okay. And then in the, just so I'm clear, maybe everyone but me, like it's in the minutes, it'll reflect that it's for school year 25-26, right?
Yeah, it's 25-26, yeah.
Right. I'm just saying because the agenda says 24-25. Okay. Just so it's matching.
Yeah.
The minutes reflect the right year.
Good.
So then can we entertain a motion for the Title I and II federal grants for school year 25-26?
I move we approve the Title I and Title II grants for 25-26.
Second?
All right, roll call. Dean? Martin?
Yep.
Sam?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. So the next one is Title IV. Also says for 24-25, but we know we're voting for 25-26.
Support and academic enrichment. It's a $10,000 grant. Even.
And that one's pretty $10,000. It's what most schools get. Can we have entertain a motion for Title IV?
Motion to approve for Title IV.
I'll second.
Dean?
Yes.
All right, roll call. Dean?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the next board meeting agenda. Anything pressing that we need to make sure is on our agenda? It sounds like our calendar for May. Making space beyond, I guess, the public comment for the two board members, if they're able to be there. The two potentials, and then anything else, Tracy, or anything else from anyone else?
Well, for the pizza, usually each one of the board members puts in $50 to pay for the pizza. And so bring you $50, I guess I'm saying. And we'll have to get it. Don't figure that out.
I can go ahead and call everyone and figure that out. I'm happy to pay it and then be reimbursed or whatever.
Simeon still owes me $100.
Does he really? Oh, no.
Next board meeting is May 12th.
May 12th.
Just looked it up.
May 12th, 5:30, unless you're on the finance committee, 5 o'clock.
I'm going to be traveling, so I'm hoping to get on virtually. We'll see. My son is being deployed in the National Guard, so we have to travel to wherever he is leaving from. So we're coming from seeing one son and going to see the other one off. So I'm hoping to be at the meeting. I'll send all my notes ahead of time if I'm not.
You know where he's being deployed to?
Africa.
As part of the National Guard?
Oh, wow. Wow. Do you know where in Africa or just
I can't really give a lot of details.
Oh, sorry.
But just Africa.
Gotcha.
There's an amazing number of American troops in Africa. They're all TDY, so they don't get registered as being there permanently. So.
Well, sending him lots of luck, Karen.
Thank you very much. Today's his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
I just got to spend his birthday with him.
Oh.
Well, besides sending lots of well wishes, I think
We need to
we have
adjourn.
no other action. Meeting adjourned.
I move.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Martin,
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Erin, everybody, yes.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
yes.
Two are out.
Thanks.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay, bye.
yes.
Aye.
So.
Thank you.
Bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Sick.
I brought, that's new. Oh, yeah.
National Guard on international?
Yeah, when I saw it on military base, there was.